Hello, hello.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Going great. How you doing?
I'm doing quite all right myself.
I love to hear that. Love to hear that. It's great. It's great. I love your flowiness. I love your movement. You are just as movemented as I am. If that's a word.
Movemented. Very dynamic.
Dynamic.
Yes, yes.
Almost like she's actually there, right on this count. Like if I reach out too far, high five her. I get a high five.
Like,
Yeah. No worries though.
it's that picture on like is it the Sistine Chapel wall
Yeah,
where Adam
yeah.
and
It's
God
like-
are reaching towards each other?
Exactly. Wanted to. Cora is a big fan. Oh, the hidden Scotty. Hello, hi, hidden Scotty. He's a big fans of you. Look, you got all these fans who'd like to check you out. Look at that. People.
Hey,
Oh,
Scotty. Hey, everybody.
hi, everyone. It's great to see you. Creation, the creation
Cheese
madness.
to meet you.
Cheese.
Yes.
Oh wait, I'm down for some cheese. What kind of cheese do you have?
Cheese. Yeah. We've got smoked apple with cheddar.
Oh, making me hungry already. Oh, snap.
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant, but that isn't going to stop me.
You know what? I unfortunately have made that many times mistakes or things that I really want to eat in, like ice cream. But you know what? If I have the day off tomorrow, I'll go ham. I'm good. Well,
How cheesy.
How cheesy exactly? You know, and trust me, we'll get into some more of the cheesy jokes here. Like there's definitely gonna be a lot of these ones. The classic gold, yes. Don't ask about blue. Oh, well, we're going to have to get to know the blue very soon. But hello, everyone. This is a fun little VTuber talk show I like to host each and every week where we get to know a brand new VTuber. And today, we actually have a very special guest. How about you introduce yourself to the very few people who might not know who you are?
Well, hi everyone. I'm Midas. I run the YouTube channel Core of Midas, and I do lots of talking. I do lots. Is it even commentary? I just say things. Once in a while, I do a stream or a broadcast. I don't stream. I broadcast. I broadcast once a week. Yes, on both. I multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch, and it's lovely to be here. Lovely to meet you.
Oh, no, it's lovely to meet you too. I've heard so many great things, and I wanted to get to more about like the core Midas because I just think it's really interesting. Like I really like all the different colors, and I was really curious and find out more about you, and that's what we're gonna do here today. So if you guys new to this lovely character, we'll both get to know them quite a bit. If you're a pro and you know all the Midas lore, all the amazingness, then maybe you guys can teach me a thing or two about this lovely lady over here. So yeah, sit back, relax.
Lore.
The Midas lore.
I'm gonna need a Matt Pad episode for me.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It was like just
I
a
am the man
theory.
behind the slaughter.
Yes.
I was the bite of 87.
Oh, you were the bite of 87? It's like some kind of random, like, oh my god, but that's not just a theory, though. I love it. We have to get to know the Midas lore. We got to get to know the Midas lore. But yeah, sit back, relax. We'll be asking 15 questions to our lovely guests here to get to know them a little bit. We're going to get into like the lore, the backstory, them as a content creator, and some design inspiration. So we'll see how that goes. And if you guys would like to ask questions, feel free to ask them. I forgot to mention this to you, but we do also have this. We have a little fun spin the wheel question wheel. It just has a whole bunch of random questions on it. You know, they're random, they're nothing too crazy. You can answer it as much as you like if you want to. They're really fun, just a little fun interaction that chat can redeem. Yeah, sit back, relax, and we'll get a lot of popcorns and cheese. Make sure you have your cheese and your popcorn.
And cheese, yes. I got so excited seeing that wheel for a second. I thought it was like one of those Doom challenge wheels, you know, where it's got like the hot sauce and like the ghost pepper and whatnot. That would have been killer. Like
we should do like a dare one of the version of this game. You know, like whichever spin you do, you have to answer a question, but it has to be like either super sour, super disgusting, or super hot. It'd be like the hot ones challenge, but up to 11.
Yes, with everything on the spectrum.
Everything on the spectrum. That's a good idea. I might have to write that down. Good idea. Give me all the good ideas.
Yes, well, yes. I'm full of them.
You're full of the good ideas, you know. You're also full of bunnies, is what I'm also hearing too.
Full of bunnies. Actually, now that I think about it, one of them just had a litter. One of the things about me
in your shirt.
Well, in my shirt, yeah, they're just. I have like how many did we have? We had 9 baby rabbits yesterday.
Oh my
Yes, I have
god!
9 baby rabbits in my shirt right now.
Wow,
That's why the pockets are so distended. Yes.
guys, like, is that what's going on, guys? It's like the reason why her shirt is
The
so puffy is because she has 9 rabbits just going at it.
baby rabbits.
Baby
Baby
rabbits,
rabbits.
baby rabbits.
Yes. It's why I'm jittering so much. It's because they're all fighting.
They're all fighting, you know.
No,
I thought you were just nervous, but you know
fighting,
this
no.
makes sense. This makes sense.
Oh, I don't get nervous. I just
Never
am very bad with my tracking.
You know what? That's a great excuse. I love that. Like me, nervous, never. I'm just shaking because tracking. Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's blame Apple. Let's just blame Apple.
I mean, I'm willing to blame Apple for any and everything under the sun. If I just have another excuse to blame them for something, then I win.
Oh yeah, one.
It's kind of like how I blame Disney for everything as well. Like Apple, Disney, like, we could, I could go on.
Just blame all of those. Just blame all of those. Well then, how about this? Let's test out that reel for us today to see, make sure everything's all good and said. Because Will, a good friend of mine, actually would like to ask you a question. So let's see the first question of the night. See how it goes. And I'm expecting all the most chaos.
I see.
Cool. Actually, this is actually pretty vanilla. Are you a dog person or a cat person? I guess you're a bunny person, actually.
Actually, more than anything, I guess I'd be more of a snake person.
Eek.
More of a I'm a reptile person personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Though, yeah. If I had to pick between cat or dog, I would pick cat because I've had nothing but bad experiences with dogs as a kid. So dogs are fine now, and like, sure, I can, I'll be good to a dog if I see one, but like, I feel nothing but absolute vitriol and disdain when I look at those cute little creatures because they scare the shit out of me. Wait, am I allowed to swear here?
You swear I'm on. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It's like, oh
they
shoot,
scare
oh
the
shoot.
shit out of me.
So this is obviously a Christian stream. Obviously, we don't say anything like that at all. Especially on this holy of couches that are super not familiar by anything. No websites have these couches. Never.
Speaking of, like, well, why is it so sticky?
Don't worry about it. I guess I forgot to clean it from last stream. Yeah. That's the reason. That's the reason. Just whatever you do not put a black light on it.
Chat, is this real?
No, let's move on from this. Let's move on. So, you like snakes and reptiles, right?
I do. I love snakes and reptiles.
But you also like bunnies.
It's more like they're here by circumstance.
Okay.
I didn't choose to have these bunnies in my peripheral.
I see. Well, hey guys, if you ever hear her number of bunnies that she has in possession go down, we now know why.
Oh no, it's we eat rabbits here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we raise them to eat them.
I saw chat literally say like she's cold-blooded. Are you like a hidden like snake VTuber that I just don't know about? Is something going on? Is this something that like
that would be a fun
a
little
lore,
plot twist,
right?
wouldn't it?
Like
But
what if like
nah.
this entire time like she's like, actually I've been meaning to show you this, and then like her tongue is all long and she's like it's like fangs. She turns all green. She's like,
You want me to turn green? Oh wait, you have green screen.
No.
I do have fangs though.
Do you have fangs? Dude, I think she is a cat. Not a cat, sorry. She is a... No.
Also, I saw in your chat somebody, Salem Silent Grave asked if I like ghosts. I love ghosts. Actually, that's part of my very long, extended, personal, non-VTuber lore.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that. Okay. I love ghosts too. I'm actually a huge ghost lover. I love like the supernatural kind of stuff like that. So that's actually really interesting. So that actually is part of your like realistic lore, like you as a person.
Kind of. It's all right. Why don't you ask me the first question, and we'll see how we tumble into this.
We'll see. Okay, cool. Let's get down to the first question, which the best way to ask, the best thing to ask, the best question to ask for the first time when you interview someone is to ask them how it all got started. What is the why and when did you want to get started with streaming?
Well, as Midas, I only started in March, but as a streamer in general and as a VTuber specifically, I've been at this for 4 years.
Ooh, wow.
And I started as an asset creator for some of the early VTubers out there. I did a lot of VRid stuff. I made a lot of like transitions for like, overlays and whatnot, a lot of like little animations, just visual assets. And it got to the point where it was like, well, I can just do this myself. I'm going to have some fun doing this. And and for multiple years, I was a ghost.
Ooh, so she was a ghost in the beginning.
I was a
Ooh.
green ghost.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, Midas is a very recent phenomena.
Ah. So guys, now you know where it all stemmed from. Midas was dead and got reincarnated.
Yeah, and I'm pretty open with this. Like everybody from. We'll get into it, but there's an interesting reason as to why I'm so forward with literally talking about everything in my past.
Well, we'll definitely get into more of it. One thing
Even
that
you barely know this lore. That's a lie, Scotty, and you know it.
Scotty, are you hiding things from us? Are you hiding things from us? I'm pretty sure you're hiding things from us.
Midas not leaking
Midas not leaking.
There's nothing to leak. This pool has had a hole in the bottom of it for forever.
Ever.
It's been empty for ages.
We actually talking more about it than we've talked about in a while. I'm guessing. Being more into it. We'll get into all the details. There's not going to be a crumb left of the lore of Midas. Yeah.
No, lore. We're eating it all.
Eating all of it, with a side of cheese as well. Side of cheese.
With a whole. We're having a whole brick of cheese.
Brick of cheese, all the cheese, honestly. And also, King, by the way, Nuke's Top 5s. Actually, I am enjoying of it. Are you enjoying Nuke's Top 5?
Nuke's Top 5 enjoy. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you should check it out. I'll send you a link of it. It's just a guy who talks about his creepy, spooky, like ghosty stuff.
I, honest to God, misread that comment initially, and I thought that said top 5 nukes.
Yeah.
And that one I have an opinion on.
I have the nukes. Oh no, I have a tier list. Because, by the way, the one that dropped in Japan, it's like mid. It's mid tier.
It's mid tier. It's mid. I mean.
But the
iconic,
one that dropped on. yeah, exactly. I love these. I love these chaos. This chaos is great. I love it. Awesome. Well, it's really cool that you've been streaming for a while now, but Midas is a new thing. Is there a reason why you want to try something new?
Well, when I started Midas, it was running alongside my current VTuber at that point. So it was like a separate secret thing. It was my vent blog, basically. I went on YouTube and I used it as a glorified diary to just spew all of my thoughts that I couldn't say in other places because it was an empty channel. Nobody was there. I wasn't advertising it. I did nothing to promote it, no tags, anything. I just sat down for like an hour or so and I was on OBS. I would say a thought, press record. It was like maybe a sentence, turn it off, and do that over and over and over again. And I did that like 40 times. And it was very cathartic for me to just like, go through, chop it down, play with CapCut, learn some skills. I put it all out at the same time, all 40 of them. And then I, let it go because I don't go to therapy. I live in the fucking mountains. This is all I get to do, right? So I was just spewing my my vitriol and my well, I guess caustic. That's where caustic came from because it was a vent space to put out my frustrations into the world. Because at that point I had been streaming for 3.5 years and I had seen no success and I had seen no numbers and whatnot, and it just felt very frustrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one of the the one that blew up was me yelling about why I do not have autism.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that hit 10K first. And then all of the other ones started like gathering views all together. And it was just like, oh no, this is working, but nothing else has.
No! Why did that one pop off?
My personality? What kind of bullshit is this?
Do people want to know about my personality? I've been trying to be a cute
idol for years. What do you mean you wanted me to yell at you?
What? I love it.
Yeah, and so I just, from then on, it was like, all right, the moment that I can no longer use this place as a place to properly speak my mind is the moment that I'm cutting the Hydra's head off and burning it at the stump, right? So the day that Midas is no longer something that is representative of where it started is when all of the socials just vanish, because it was never meant to be what it is today.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's fun that it's here.
It is fun. It's interesting. I like that it stemmed from something that you wasn't really taking seriously. You just wanted to have like a vent channel, and then it just stemmed on something that got really popular. It just shows that like some people that get really into it. Yes, you have Ken. Some things that just like you were not expecting to pop off end up being a huge big thing.
Yeah. I remember the first one of the rants I did that got people really angry.
Ooh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I love these. I love these ones.
Ugh. Well, it was the one that got me called a pick me, and it's also the one that made my audience go from equal gender distribution to being 90% male.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty
It was
strong
titled-
thing.
It was titled "Dear Whammon," and because again, I was just kind of half shit posting with these because I didn't expect anyone to see them. This was one of the initial 40 videos. And to summarize it, I basically said, hey, maybe, fuck, it's been a while. But I kind of took the male perspective's side in regards to why there are mixed signals when some guys think that maybe a girl is into them, but in reality they're not. Because women are socialized to treat women a certain way. So if you treat a man the way that you would treat a woman friend, it gets like very dramatically misread, because the way men are socialized, at least in America, they are trained to see those identical signals that are given from woman friend to woman friend as romantic. Because a lot of times guys grow up and they are underappreciated, they're undervalued. Sometimes they get like one major compliment from a random person and it sticks with them for their whole life. Right?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. There's still compliments I got in my past that I can still remember to this day.
Yeah. Whereas for like people that have been socialized female, things like compliments come a lot more often. They're treated more like currency socially. And this was the point I was talking about. I was saying, hey, women, like, you need to realize that if a man misreads your kindness as attraction, it's not always because they're a lecherous monster. It's because maybe genuinely it is something that is easily misreadable because you haven't actually taken the time to think about it from his point of view. And people really hated that.
Which I'm really surprised about. Like I feel like that's pretty like normal, like to talk about. Like, oh, okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But I guess freaking geez, it blew up, and unfortunately, it didn't work out very well for you. Well, at least 90%. At least you got a new audience. You got a new audience. How about that?
You know what? I think at the end of the day, I'm happy to talk to people who disagree with me. It's a natural thing to disagree with someone. If you can be civil about it, like a lot of the time, both people can come away with a clearer understanding of why the other person feels the way they do. Maybe you don't change their mind, but it's not the end of the world unless that person is like actively advocating for like a genocide or like whatever, right?
True. Hopefully we don't have that conversation. Let's not have that conversation.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, but no, I agree with you 100%. I definitely do see that as like a potential good conversation to have, and I do think that everyone should have that, because that is what we call discussions. We might have something that I disagree with, you might have something that you disagree with, but as long as we come together with our like values and we express our like views on something, and the other person respects that, we might not agree with it, but at least respect it, then I think we all come away with like more knowledge. So I definitely agree with that 100%. I like that. Hey, going back,
it's the human experience.
the human experience. Yes, exactly. Now, here's the other cool thing about you is that you are very unique as a VTuber. Again, you stem from just having more of the discussion kind of videos. Like, while other VTubers out there are definitely a little bit more of like a gamer, artist, something like that. So, what do you bring to the VTube community that helps you stand out? Or do you even want to stand out, actually?
Well, it's interesting because for a long time I tried very hard to stand out and I couldn't. And the moment I stopped trying to stand out, I did. So I don't know what I want.
That is actually
what I
hilarious. I
bring
love
to the
that.
table is that I am an artist by trade. I went to university for art. I got my bachelor's in fine arts. Like
Nice.
visual arts is what I do. That's my skill. Um, Actually, this model, I designed the visual for it. Like the 3D part, somebody else did, but like the styling, like the texture, that was me.
Nice. I like that. I love your design. We'll get into a little bit more in the future of this interview, but we'll definitely have a nice discussion about that. I just think it's funny that literally as soon as you stopped trying, you're now like super big. Not super big, but like you're bigger than what you wanted to be, or maybe you wanted this.
Like at this point, is it Murphy's Law?
Yep.
If something's gonna go wrong, it will.
Yep.
Did it go wrong? Did it go right? I'm not sure. In the moment, it felt very wrong, but now it's like, you know what? We're here, so let's play ball.
Yes, exactly. Like I think it's great. I because I wouldn't have met you, and I think you're a really fun person. So I think it's a great thing that like you end up being like a lot more like seen than others. Times that you try to do this kind of thing, but like again, it depends on your preference. You wanted this to be more of like a venting kind of thing, and you didn't want that many people to see it. But now that it is seen, and now people do want to check out your content, now you kind of just rolling with it, and you kind of really enjoying this kind of side of things.
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act for sure. Yeah, no. Initially, it was I wanted people to follow me for the art I make and for for I do a little bit of music, but just in general, just creative pursuits. I didn't think that I had anything unique or interesting to say, so it was never really like I didn't think that I could sell myself on my personality, right? So you can imagine my shock when people were like, just polite golf clapping at me saying, I think we should, and I think the death penalty should be is good actually.
Wow. Well, you know what? That's definitely a conversation. That's definitely a discussion to have. 100%. I'm over here like thinking about like, oh yeah, we should talk about like if we think that this romantic anime character should get with this romantic anime character, and you over here like, let's talk about the death penalty. I was like, oh, cool.
Like again, these were all my vents, like based off my frustrations in real life or just thoughts that I couldn't say safely, right? And there's a billion and one people that will talk about things in the anime community. Hell, I do it sometimes still too. But there's less and less and less people that are open to speaking about more sensitive topics because they're very frightened about the punishment that comes with it. Because there is punishment that does come with talking about things like that in such an unfiltered way, even in a joking matter. Like, all like my YouTube channel, even though it does get views, it is heavily demonetized most of the time. So I don't make a ton off of it. But I mean, if I operated the same way that everyone else did, then nobody would watch. If I swapped out kill for unalive, or made cute euphemisms, or I nerfed all my swearing, then that kind of takes away from me at my core, because that would be changing the way I speak.
True.
Right?
We want you to be you.
So I guess that makes me. That's what makes me stand out, I think. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Going over what Psycho says, it becomes increasingly harder to have an actual discussion that has a disagreement over the years. It's now more like you disagree and the conversation gets shut down by the other side. So this was fresh for a lot of people, or rather a return to better times. And I agree with that 100%. It was there's a lot of like discussions that just gets like thrown off the table whenever something comes up, and I don't like that. I like having conversations, even if like the view could be a little controversial and like that. But we should have that conversation, you know. That way, everyone can get their words out. They could be right, they could be wrong, but I feel like it's more on the fact that everyone has their own side of truth. They believe something really truthfully, and so they want to express their truth when they discuss certain things, you know. They shouldn't like refuse other people's truth. That's their truth, that they believe that on their side, you know. So I think everyone should have that like conversation.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, looks like Viku has another spin for you, so let's do another spin into another good
Spin
roll.
to win.
Spin to win. Spin to win. Spin. Love it, love it. But yeah, keep up the discussions. Keep up the discussion, chat. I like these. I'm looking at them. I'm not skipping. I love them. Okay, so we were talking about anime for a little bit. So let's get into your top. What is your favorite anime you like to watch?
I'm a sucker for the classics. If we're talking about, okay, are we talking about genre or are we talking about a specific anime?
We can do both, like, because I know there's a specific one that's in your mind right now, but if you like a certain genre, we can also go into that.
Okay. For genres, I love action adventure or I love horror. Like any mix of those. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. However, all-time favorite, I have to say it, probably because of nostalgia, but also because it holds up. I just love Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, I agree. I love Full Metal Alchemist too. Oh wait, which one do you like though?
That's the controversial thing. I prefer 03.
Really? You're not a Brotherhood person? Wow.
I like Brotherhood, but hear me out.
Okay.
Even though it does have a better second half, the first half is forcibly rushed through, and you lose a lot of the character development and all of the fun added. Like there was bonus episodes in 03 that were technically filler episodes, but they did so much to like flesh out the characters and give them more personality and make you more attached to them. Pacing was just so much better in 03, even if it had anime Hitler.
Yeah, they did have anime Hitler, 100%. But like, I definitely see a point now that I think about it, because like hearing you first talk about it, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Brotherhood is so much better. It has better story, it has better all that kind of stuff. Then I realized, like, wait, yeah, the beginning was super rushed. And I think the reason why is because it came out after like the first one came out, obviously, but I think they expected everyone to already seen the first one,
Yeah,
so
they
that they didn't
treated it
want
like a recap
Yeah.
until the point where it divulged. There is like an optimal way to consume Full Metal Alchemist where you actually splice like the first 2/3 of 03 and then like half like the then you cut off the first 1/4 of Brotherhood and then you just make it like this mega thing. It's not perfect, but there is a way to do it so that you have the full cohesive story with excellent things. But then you've got like inconsistencies because there's new characters and both series. Just personally for me, for nostalgia, Full Metal Alchemist 03.
No, and you know what? Totally valid. Totally valid. I like that. But I definitely can see why you like it a little bit more, and I definitely see the potential of liking it more. I will still always say the Brotherhood's my favorite personally, just because I just grew up watching it with my brother, and it means a lot to me as like a more personal kind of thing. And I just think that like, after the rush beginning, it just freaking killed it in like all the story and all the action scenes and all the like characters. So that's why I found myself liking it. But I definitely like it. I definitely like that you mentioned that. It kind of seems like you do have to watch both, because if you just told people like, hey, you should only watch the Brotherhood, I think a lot of people would actually be kind of disappointed in it, because they would only watch the Brotherhood and see how Rush is in the beginning. And sometimes for a lot of people, if you don't like the beginning part, that will turn you off with the rest of the thing. So that is interesting. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. That's right.
Yeah, I always recommend people just watch Full Metal Alchemist in release order,
Yep.
and people have the best time.
2 days
Yeah.
late. All the 2 days. Well, we can watch.
Yeah.
We can talk about Full Metal all day.
Yeah, I actually cosplayed as Edward Elric for one of the 2 anime conventions I ever went to as a teenager. I made like the full like the auto mail arm, and it was a whole thing.
No, trust me. Like I've had some cringy moments like that. Thank you for the follow. My cringy moment was literally like I dressed up as Joker from Persona. That's like super cringy for me that I did a long time ago. The worst part of it was that obviously Joker doesn't have a beard. I had to shave off my entire beard to do it, and I had the babiest face ever. And like, oh my god, I still to this day cringe at the thought of it.
I can one up you. I was a Homestuck cosplayer.
You're Homestuck? Oh wow, that's interesting. Who'd you play as?
Dave Strider.
Oh.
You couldn't tell from the aviators. You couldn't tell from the aviators that I was a Strider fan. Come on now.
Oh, I mean, I should have. I should have. But you know, I should have asked for more inspiration. But we haven't gotten to the model yet. So dang, I should have said that.
Actually, the glasses aren't actually inspired from Dave Strider,
okay.
but like he has them, right?
Yep,
So,
true. I should have mentioned that you guys might like that kind of stuff. All right, cool, awesome. Or rather, warm toast. He doesn't like soggy toast. Doesn't like the cold. He nice and warm. Nice and warm. He would like to ask you a spin question as well. That fixed. All the fixed. Very fixed. Cool. Awesome. Oh wait, I recognize him from your assassination. Psycho. Yes. No. Robert is from your.
Robert Sidley. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Robert.
We did the assassination tier list.
I saw that video, by the way, Robert. Very good. Like a
cough or tea.
You do like the coffee or the tea. For someone who has a specific liquid near you, I think I know what you like.
You know, when I'm looking for peak hydration.
Oh, you know what? Go for it. Shout yourself out. Ad campaign right now. Go for it.
I'm not. Usually I would, but that's too tacky of me. I prefer coffee.
I can see that. I was like, well, if I'm really tired about something and I wanted to stay as my gamer peak, I have this,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's tacky to show my gamer subs on someone else's channel. But yeah, no, coffee. Coffee, I feel like it's more customizable. Tea is nice when I'm like trying to. When I want something lighter.
Yeah.
Coffee, I feel like it's a bit heavier and it's a bit more labor intensive. Teas, I don't know. It has to be situational.
Situational. Well, I totally agree with that. I only drink tea, so like this is my problem. I only drink tea when I'm sick, so I've always associated it as like a sick thing. While coffee, I always have when I go to work. So I mostly only consider it as me going to do something like productive. But sometimes I will have coffee just to like relax. So I'll get it. I'll just like watch a TV show while I'm like eating breakfast. I'll have coffee. It's super relaxing. But I can't do that with tea. For some reason, tea just makes me think that I'm like need to get over like a sickness or something.
It's interesting how the mind like Pavlov's itself like that.
Association. I remember I'm taking this a very important test for my job, and if I pass this test, I get promoted. And I took one of the tricks of the mind, where if you have the same type of gum while you're studying, that if you take that same gum,
Oh, whoops.
Oh. she went see-through for a little bit. She's trying to test out that little magical power that she can go invisible.
Don't worry about it.
It's not partially there. It's not there yet. No worries, you're totally good. But I was told that if you have the same type of gum when you are studying, if you take that same gum when you do the actual test, you could retain the information a little bit easier.
Did it work?
I passed.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, I'm going to take as a win.
An example of Pavloving that I've done to myself accidentally was I really liked Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Okay.
One of the songs I really liked is Teenager, and I used to have a 3 a.m. shift at a bakery. That was my job. I was the nosebleed shift worker. And so I set Enter Sandman as my alarm to get me up at 2 a.m. to get ready for work at 3. after like a month of Enter Sandman on my phone, like as my alarm, I couldn't have it in any of my music playlists anymore because it filled me with unbridled rage because it was the wake up song.
Ooh, you
I
know what?
couldn't listen to it, and I still can't listen to it years later. I hear the first doo 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 of the bass, and immediately it's like, nah, I gotta fucking skip this now.
Jeez,
No,
no. I'm not going to work. I promise I'm done. Wow, that's so interesting. I love the mind. I love those kind of things. I went to college for psychology. So like I love these kind of things. I think they're so interesting to me. Love this kind of like tricks of the brain. I love it. I think it's just always fascinating for me. Really cool. It's really cool. Trick question. The answer is water. Well, I thought she was going to be like coffee or tea, monster. Like just go full chaotic, just super chaotic. But
oh, I had a whole arc about Monster. I can't drink it anymore.
really,
I was having 4 cans a day, and it ruined all of my teeth. Like I had like over $10,000 of dental bills.
Ooh, dang.
Like I had
Miss,
double
what
root canals, I
happened?
needed crowns. Like it was bad.
Dang. Yeah, no, stay away from Monster. 100%. Please don't do that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, no. Thanks to my community, they actually helped me with my teeth. It was incredible. Like
Nice.
like the roots had actually rotted, and it was like danger of going. I think it was like I don't remember. It's like danger of going septic or something.
Oh.
They were badly infected, inflamed. It was just so bad, so painful.
Ooh.
It was like emergency tooth job.
Well, hey, let's give a round of applause for your community. Like, chat, you guys are freaking amazing for helping her out like that. I love hearing stories like that. I love hearing stories of like chat helping out the streamer, because the streamer helps out the chat by being the entertainer and content creator and interacting with you guys. But I just love seeing these like charitable kind of events like this. I think it's so sweet, so nice, so nice.
Yeah, no, my duders are very sweet.
Oh, I love that. Speaking of your community and your fans, you actually host any kind of like events for them? Do you guys do like community days? You guys like to hang out?
In theory, I'm supposed to start doing that soon.
Well, you guys have to stay on it.
It's in the works. It's in the work, guys. I swear. I
promise.
swear.
It's happening. It's happening.
I'm not putting it off. I just don't have things ready yet. So, an extension of this, the Discord. They didn't get a Discord until I hit like about 10K on YouTube. And initially, they were going to get it for, maybe it was 20K actually. I can't even remember now. But they were supposed to get it at 3K, but I had never set up a proper community Discord before. So it got flooded with multiple thousands of people in under a few hours, and I had 0 mods.
Oh,
and you can imagine the kind of community that somebody like me would build, right? So it had to be shut down fast because it was going south real quick. And so for months, I had a community with no place to do community things.
Oh no!
And so I actually, with the help of a good friend of mine, Cora Valorum, I put together the current Discord, and it just sat there empty for months because I had no mods. Anyway, so I'm working on community things, and they're slowly being implemented. Very slowly.
Hold on, guys. There'll be something. There'll be something. Hello.
There was offline chat. That is true, J Phantom. Okay. So offline chat, a little bit of fun lore.
Yeah.
Oh, so I initially made a Midas Twitch. I didn't have any expectation of using it. I just didn't want someone to impersonate me. So early on, I took that handle, and people saw that and they started following it en masse, and that really pissed me off because I was over the follow count on that Twitch for doing literally 0 streams, because at that point I had done 0 streams. I had only made YouTube content, whereas previous 3 years, my other account, it took me 3 years to build up to half of that amount, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something cheeky. I'm going to be mean, and I'm going to give them all a scare. I'm going to do an unannounced stream on that account. And what I did is I got a video, a music video by one of my brother's favorite musicians, Michael Bolton. He sings I Can Go the Distance, if you know that song. And I had the song How Can We Be Lovers playing on a loop for like 2.5 hours, and the music video, and it's just the cheesiest 80s music video ever. And all of the people were very confused, but shockingly enthusiastic, and it ended up being the most like successful stream I had done to date, and I got even angrier.
Oh my god.
Anyway, and since I had no Discord, people just stayed in that chat for over a month. There was people in there every single day, even though there was zero streams. People just use it as an open chat room.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. There they go. Psycho. Yeah, okay. Yeah, your chats.
Baby,
okay,
how can we make love if we can't make amends?
they're singing. Yeah,
Yep.
that
I know
like,
that song.
singing.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? I love it. I love it.
I think yeah,
Something
you
from
gotta look at
success.
it's a great song. I think you'd like it.
No, I know the
Anyway,
song. It's really, really good song. But no, I just
I
think,
guess you could count that as a community event.
yeah, that's community. Well, that's one of your biggest
It was a
community
canon
events.
event.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
canon event, 100%. But it just is so interesting that like these things that you expect to not work out has been some of the most successful things that you ever did as a content creator. I just love that.
Consistently.
It's
Yeah.
so fun. It's so fun.
But
I think
as-
it's really good.
Fun fact, as Midas though, I've only done 9 streams on my accounts. I'm mainly just a YouTuber at this point.
Which
But
I
do my once
did
a week
notice that.
streams.
Sure. I've noticed most of your content on YouTube. So that's why I've been kind of like looking through a lot of those contents, which you have some really interesting ones. I like them. Some ones that are questionable, like you like dealing with bunnings with weapons and destroying windows.
I mean, I would argue that was my strongest video.
That's your strongest videos. Okay.
I mean, you saw the display of strength, yes?
Oh yeah, they're
That
just
was
so
my-
strong, so strong.
Yeah, that was with the Vroid I made. Because again, it was supposed to be a nothing account, right? It was supposed to be event space. So the model initially was something I threw together in Vroid in like under 2 hours. Just yeah, no. Yeah, but we've come a long way.
You can come a long way. I love that. I love how Psycho's all mad because it's like I kept up that offline chat for 2 months, and then they said that Discord soon, and there was no Discord. I just love how
There's
mad
a
about
Discord
it.
right now,
Guys,
Psych.
there's a Discord.
There's a Discord right now.
Well,
Your patience has been rewarded.
look,
Why are
yeah,
you so
all your hard
bitter?
work. All your hard
You
work.
should like go lay down.
Yeah, lay
Mhm.
down and chill. You know, maybe you should listen to a certain music, a certain song. You know, something. You know, about friends and lovers that can't be. You know, fighting never
Yeah.
ends. You know, stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Listen to that song.
yeah.
Listen to that song.
Some cathartic Michael Bolton will put
Yeah,
you in
Michael
your
Bolton.
place.
Michael Bolton. Yeah, I think that'd be great. That'd be great. Now I choose Hell Diving. Hell Diving. Hell Diving is great. I love Hell Diving. Great game. Great game. But yeah, no, I like that. I like that your community is like so enveloped with you as your content creator. Because that's how I always feel like as a content creator when you stream is that you do have to be as much a part of the content as your chat is. And it seems like you guys both have inside jokes. You guys talk a lot. It's just nice to see that like interaction with you guys. It's really cool. Awesome. All right, well, hey, let's get into the one thing that we've been burning to get to know from all this time. That is a model. Let's get into the thoughts of the design of your model, because your model is very uniquely you. Like, it is very unique, different, original, and I don't see anyone ever copying it. So I really want to know what, as an artist, came from all this kind of interesting designs.
Well, initially, the design was very lazy. Initially, it was a throwaway Vroid, and when I put it together, it was I make a billion Vroids of middling quality with no effort because I want to test design concepts, right? And so initially, Midas wasn't supposed to be a self-representation in the slightest. It was supposed to be, what do I find most attractive on a character? but also, my roommate at the time, Ayumi, had gotten very into Nikkei. And she really liked Eleg. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I like Eleg too. It's so unique having yellow underneath. I wonder if I can design a character with a restricted color palette like yellow, because usually my main color is red. I like to work with reds and purples. Those are the easiest and most fun for me. So it was a bit of a character design challenge. And it's like, okay, well, what do I like in an outfit? What do I find interesting and attractive, but like, atypical. I'm somebody that doesn't like to design a ton of cleavage or bare skin. I like to be hardcore with the coverage because I feel like if you can make a design attractive without having to lean on the crutch of showing a ton of skin, then it's a good design. Because that allows for a billion avenues of, things in the future. Because if you're covered up from the start, that means when you do uncover it, it's unique and interesting and it stands out. Whereas if you start mostly unclothed, you don't get the same effect in reverse.
Show a little bit of the shoulder skin, and it was like, oh snap, oh wow, ooh.
Yeah.
I can see that. All right, I like that. So like, when you came up with your design and you want to have a little bit more like clothing, do you think that helped better like express your character a little bit more?
Well, yeah, because it's just like, well, I personally find this attractive in characters, and also when I design characters, I go for maximum simplicity. And the reason is as an artist myself, it just makes it easier to replicate a character's design and draw it when it's not like overly opulent, super detailed, but it just has a few key standout elements. When I actually made a proper reference sheet and did some proper artwork and put attention to detail into this version of the model, again, it was like, okay, well, what are the key elements I want to hone in and focus in on? It's like, okay, well, I find moles attractive, so I'm going to put 3 beauty marks throughout. I like button-up collars. I like ties. I like patterning, but I also don't want it to be overboard. I think gloves are the bee's knees.
Bees knees.
The glasses are a reference to Nicolas Cage's movie Con Air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the pockets and the skirt are. Can I show my model a little
Go
bit?
for it. Actually, if you want to go right in the middle, actually you can't because it's. Never mind. Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
I'll zoom up.
Yep. You can stand on the couch. You can stand on the couch. Just don't slip.
Okay. But yeah, it was a balance of I want to do symmetry but also asymmetry. So I've got the shorts underneath because again, like the more I can get away with covering, the better, right? But
That's
also, like I've got shorts, but I've also got a skirt on top that's split. I've got cool boots because cool boots are the best kind of boots.
Best kind. I agree 100%. No argument here.
Lots and lots of pockets, big pockets, because there's utility in pockets. Basically, if I ever dressed up as myself, I would want it to be as practical as possible. So if I went into a convention, I could fit everything in everywhere, right? Initially, the design didn't have as many pockets. It didn't have as many specific elements because it wasn't meant to be me. But when I honed it down into this design, those were kind of the thoughts I went with. It's just like, okay, what's practical? What represents my tastes and sensibilities? And what looks harmonious? And a lot of that does carry over to many other VTubers. However, there's a design trend in VTubing where people over-design. I call it the Genshin effect.
Genshin effect.
Because they have to like stack on as many micro details as possible. Everything has to have like some sort of ornate lace to it, or it has to have a billion ribbons or a billion ropes. It's got to have patterns, billions of patterns. It's got to have absurd everything. I think the only difficult thing I have in my design is my hair, and that's it. And that's yeah.
Make a joke.
The Miku twin tails. I like the Miku twin tails.
They're cute, adorable. Apparently Robert says that you remember you complaining so much about same hair on every VTuber.
That's another pet peeve I have with VTubers. So there's a design trend, especially amongst male VTubers, but in general, it's very pervasive. VTubers have 3 kinds of bangs. They have the solitary like M-shaped bang where they have like one V in the middle between their eyes and it's framed by 2 things on either side of their face. They have the blunt bang all the way across. Or they have a very specific version of the side bang. And the most prevalent of all of those will be like the V in between the eyes. And the V between the eyes bothers me because it is very lazy in my personal opinion. The VTuber M-shaped bangs. If you look at HoloLive, you look at Niji Sanji, look at any major company with a billion VTubers, like I've done the head count. Over 80% of them have those hair bangs.
You know
The
what?
only thing that differentiates them is just like what frames at the bottom or what's in the back. So for me, it was very important that when I made my bangs, they had to be unique. So it was like, okay, personally, every time I make a new character, I cover one of their eyes because I grew up as an emo son of a bitch. I love that. I love it. It's silly.
You totally good. You totally good. I continue. I have something to say,
Yeah.
but you continue.
And I also wanted like a piece of hair that sticks out to the side because usually VTubers like to have ahoges that are poking out the top of their heads, and that has also become that's like more of like a general anime trend. Hell, Edward Elric has one, right? But for me, it was like I don't see a ton where the ahoge is sticking out to the side, so I've got one right there. You can kind of see. All right, what were you gonna say?
So I think it's hilarious that you brought that up. 'Cause I didn't really realize that, but after looking through my entire list of VTubers I've interviewed lately, almost every single one of them has like a style that's like the M. I think it's just hilarious. I'm just like looking through this, like, oh my god, they all pretty much have it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, so if you want to stand out, that just make that one change. Just make that one change, and you're already so much
You're good.
different than everyone else.
Pretty much. Actually, what really I find is really interesting is that a lot of the gamer VTubers have that M. But if you look at the artist VTubers that I've interviewed, they don't. So it's almost like the artists don't like that design choice either. They like to do something different.
They all recognize it. They all recognize it.
Sorry, I just thought that was fun because when you mentioned that, I was like, huh, wonder what my VTuber is. But anyway, no, you just brought in a whole new world for me. Now I'm just gonna look at VTubers. It's like M, and they're like,
Third
what?
eye is opened.
Third eye is open. I am now have a different sense of VTubers when I look at them.
So what I'm hearing is next time you get your persona updated, it's gonna have like a different bang.
Actually, it's actually funny that you mentioned that because I actually do have a VTuber model in the making. It's down the road. Yeah, no, and I can show it to you. I technically not. I only showed like a very interesting like all bit of it. Because the actual like model is being developed, so I can't really show that one at the moment. But here's the character sheet of what it looks like. Tell me if these bangs are super boring or should I have gone for a different style.
Those are good. That's like a mix of the blunt and the side bang, which is typical, but it's not bad. You aren't committing the evil, heinous crime of having the V bang in the middle. So honestly, that's all anyone can ever ask for.
Good. I was worried for a second. Cool. I love it.
Honestly, I am obsessed with the button up shirt, like with the patterns. That is good character design.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't draw this. I had a really amazing artist draw it. Her name is Sue. She's freaking amazing. I can always send you the link of her if you want to check out more of her art. But we both worked together on trying to come up with something like that. And let's say that you guys can't see at home, so I'm still not really allowed to show it technically. You can look on my Twitter because I did post on there. But it's mostly about this mask right here. That's the main symbol of it. Mask right here. And there's a story behind it. But we're not talking about me. Talking about lore of Midas.
Yeah.
So let's go back into you and talk more about you and your awesomeness, including let's go into another warm toast spin. Warm toast. You put just a toast in the middle of it. It's like him doing the spins. Oh, awesome. Okay, so controversial take. Another controversial take. Maybe more controversial than the whole like bombs and like destruction of nukes. Favorite pizza topping? Need two to tango. That's true.
Favorite pizza topping? I don't know. I'm a pizza kind of person.
I'm
Just
also.
more meat the better.
I'm a meat lovers too. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if I was given the menu, usually I would say, give me a barbecue chicken pizza.
I can see that. I can see it. Those are really good. Those are really good. Artemis Fowl or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or Homestuck. Ooh.
Mods, time out, Robert Sidley.
Bottom out. Time out. Skmeet. Wait. So.
Castrate this man.
Wow. Do you not like any of those people?
No, that's just Robert's attempt at trying to get me to monologue.
Oh, I see.
Because those are topics that not so much Homestuck, but the other two are ones that once you activate my one floating brain cell, I don't shut up.
Oh, okay. So if we want to have a very long conversation, then we just need to talk about those people. I will keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Might bring that up a little bit later if we want to fill up some more time. We're actually doing a really good job on time. So yeah, keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Now, with your design, one of the things that I've really wanted to get in a conversation about is that even though I really love your colors scheme, everything's really good, but you do also change your colors every now and then. Can you describe and just let me know what is the point? Because like they're really cool. I personally like the blue one, but I do like them.
Okay. I see how it is.
I like the pink one. The pink one's good.
There is no blue one. Jen, do you see blue? There's pink. There's green.
And
there's yellow. There's no blue.
No blue. I want to see the green one, but we can't. Actually, I can see it.
Yeah, because it's been chromed out, which is really funny. Actually, that happened at my debut too. I forgot that my green version was green, and so I was trying to show it off at my debut, and nobody could see it. It looked just like this right now. And so, like, there's the accidental Void Midas variant. But yeah, no, when I was just starting with making stuff on Midas before it even blew up, I was just toying with the different colors and playing with different glasses shapes, and I made a banner that had a bunch of different variants on it. I gave the pink one a cigarette.
Yeah.
I made the green one very nerdy, and the yellow one was very like, very caustic, opinionated. And it's really not that much deeper. There's not extra persona tied behind each one. It's more or less situational. It's for convenience sake. There's not too much plot. Though, if I was going to tie things behind it, I'd say, well, maybe the yellow one is ego. Maybe the green one is like maniacal plotting, and the pink one is instinctual reaction and
desire.
But like, it's not just like romantic desire, but like
desire into something. This is like something.
I want something.
Want it.
And like I want to invest in stocks. Just
stocks. Oh my god, gotta get the stocks.
Stocks.
all right. Okay, so I touched a nerve on the blue one.
There's no blue one. There's no nerves to touch.
Well, I just love how Chad would ham on the blue part too. I just thought it was blue. I just think it's funny. I remember seeing something about it, so that's why I wanted to bring that up. But would you ever want to consider getting more colors?
Yes,
not just blue, obviously. Not
just... Yes, actually, I do have like a purple one that I featured in a music video I made, because I did I once in a while, again, because Midas' event thing, I do make just songs. Like sometimes they're shitposty, but sometimes they're also like, a personal experience-based ones. And whenever I do something like that, that's highly custom, I like to tweak the visual to suit it. So it's like a song-based variant of it. So I've got like a purple one based off of just
purple. Sorry.
A very, very deep and sad moment where I was feeling very down. But I've also got a red one that hasn't seen the light of day yet, because I need to finish the project that it's for, but it's got the Dirk Strider sunglasses, because... Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I saw the Enough is Enough song. Hey, I like your voice. Very good. Definitely a song.
Thank you. I grew it myself.
Screw yourself. Yes, I love it. it was mine. It's mine alone. I love it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Midas discussed the debut in the lore video. It was funny hearing, like, imagine if I made Midas originally blue and it's a huge cover art, that would be hilarious. So see, so let you guys know, chat, let you guys know, if you ever see any of my VTuber interviews, I purposely do not look at lore videos because I want them to tell me the lore videos in person or have chat explain to me. So I never look at these kind of things because I don't want to be spoiled during the interview. Because I like to just learn about the VTuber doing these shows, you know. So I try not to explore too much on their information. I try and see a little bit of it as time goes on. So yes, I did not know about that, but I did see something blue. So that's why I thought that's why I thought to myself, like, oh yeah, I like the blue one. I didn't realize that literally it was a touchy subject, so I was like, I'm sorry.
It's not actually touchy. It's more of just like a running gag at this point. But there's now this this model right here is a very new thing, right? And I thought, well, if I'm gonna have the new model with all the bells and whistles, I might as well give them a little bit of a fun, creative storytelling kind of thing, because I love to tell stories. I love to make things. And so Robert Sidley was actually part of this video. I kind of was like, okay, well, visually, I kind of look governmental, and people in
yes,
people in the comments of my YouTube shorts keep calling me a glowy. So I went, fuck it, fine. I'll be a government agent. Fuck you guys.
I will do it.
So the video was like, I had a blue variant, and that is baseline Midas before the mission began. And the mission is I'm infiltrating the VTubing community and destroying it from the inside out by doing non-standard content.
I know what? I love that. That's actually really good. I'm glad, as someone who interviews a whole bunch of different VTubers, I hope this is part of your mission to like go into it, you know, go into the size of the VTuber communities, destroy it from within.
I've infiltrated.
You are in it. You are in it. You are definitely in it.
In it to win it.
In it to win it. You gotta win it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
One thing also I wanted to mention about when it comes to your model, and it's one of my favorite questions to ask, especially to an artist. What is your favorite part about your design?
Oh, the moles. Easily. The moles in my eyes.
Okay. I love your eyes. I love the way you look at certain things. Like right now, like it looks very like normal, but you can zoom out. Like you not zoom out, but you can make it smaller, and that accelerates your expressions on certain kind of things. Like when you like, oh, well, let's talk about this, and it like kind of goes into it. It like adds to your expression so much, because as an artist, as yourself, with your design, it's kind of hard to show a lot of expressions because your hair is hiding a lot of your face. So you do a lot of it with your eyes, and I think that helps out immensely.
Here's the thing, I hate to say it, but before I was a VTuber, I was a TikTok creator. And so I move a lot, like naturally as a person. Like I move my hands, I move my whole body, I do the cartoony mouth and eyes to the point where it's actually very cringe in real life. It's miserable, right? But that translates really well to a 3D model, because at that point it's just advanced puppeteering. And so when I designed this, when I went to my 3D modeler with my reference sheet to style match, I had specific things in mind that I wanted. I wanted a massive range of motion for my mouth specifically. I wanted the gloves to have multicolored palms, because that makes them easier to see when I move like this, especially against a black jacket. And I wanted the eyes, when I opened my eyelids a little bit too much, I wanted the pupil to shrink a lot. And with enough like practice, like you don't have to do a ton of movement, but you can really put out every emotion out there, because VTubing at its core is acting. It is visual acting. You are puppeteering. You are a very advanced anime Muppet. And the ones that do the best out there are the ones that have the most control over what they have. And I don't have, like, for the most of my career, I have had very, very minimal, like, the least technologically advanced resources. I used a webcam and then I used the iPhone 11. I had the Leap Motion bar, and the combination of those things, if you're very practiced at going hardcore with the puppeteering, you can have a lot of movement. And you can do everything under the sun. But if you're not practiced, things can be very stiff and you can't move very much. It's also another reason why I prefer 3D over 2D, is because, again, just add that extra dimension of movement and that extra ability to really push the emotion.
I like that. I like that. Actually, you actually talked about a really interesting topic I like to bring up on a lot of my interviews, is that when you are VTubing, you are controlling a puppet. And the way you express yourself as a content creator is how well you can move that puppet and use that puppet to utilize your content. I like that a lot that you mentioned that, because you're 100% correct. I think the people who do sometimes the best work as a VTuber are the ones that can utilize that model the best as a puppet. Now, I want to throw this onto you, Chad. I want to ask you, do you guys like super expressive VTubers who are moving around a lot and doing a lot of things? Or do you like the ones that are a little more chiller, that kind of just wants to just like sit back and just let what the content behind them do most of the talking for them? I'm really curious, because there's a lot of VTubers out there who literally like just stand still and doesn't do too much stuff, but makes the content behind them do more of the work for themselves. While there's definitely, like Midas over here, who does a lot more movement, a lot do more expressions with the kind of things that they can do. So I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? What do you like? What do you like about that? You guys do like to go into the more of those kind of conversations. Also, I do want to mention that apparently Robert really likes to broody marks as well. So, hey, a lot of people like to broody.
It's interesting. Some people really hate the beauty marks. I remember when this model dropped. Beauty marks were one of the few new things that were added to the design. Originally, the skin was paper white because, again, I was trying to do like an artsy thing where I was just experimenting with restricted color palettes. Part of the model update was having it have natural, still pale, but natural toned skin, and adding the beauty marks, because I personally think that they are some of the nicest, prettiest natural things, you know? I had people commenting on my videos after the new model came out saying, oh, I was behind the new model, but as soon as I saw the beauty marks, now that's it for me. I can't watch you anymore. And it's just like,
what? That's
okay.
so weird.
Goodbye.
Yeah, like one who expresses that. Like that's just a weird thing to do. Why would you express that? Oh, because you add this very small thing, I'm not interested. It's like, that's so weird. That's just weird to talk. Also, it's also just weird that that's something that sends you off. It's like, I like it, but that was not my reason why I like your model so much. I liked it because of the eyes, the different color schemes, you know, like I like the because of all that kind of stuff. The little beauty marks, I was like, oh, cool, that's interesting. And I don't see that very often, so I just thought it was cool. I don't know. Now going back to what we were talking about before, now I know. Oh wait, this is the honey trap thing. I call VTuber models just camera filters on steroids. Cost a lot. Cost as much. Steroids. Cost as much as a professional. You know VTubers, they always inject all the steroids on the bodies to make sure they can move around. You know, that's common. Yeah. It's common. It's the most expensive part. It depends on the content, right? Maybe not entirely dead fish. That's true. It's true. I can definitely see that it depends on the content that you're watching. If you want to watch just the game person, they want to watch what they're playing, you don't want them to be moving around all crazy in front of the screen. You want them to be kind of stationary so you can watch the content. But maybe on just chatting, do you like them to move around a lot? I guess that's what I should mention. Midas admits she made herself a government official in her lore video because people kept saying she looked like that. Oh, so you listen to your comments a lot, don't you?
To a point where it's a little unhealthy, I'm gonna admit.
Well, like I definitely like the style. I definitely like the design. Depends on the content you're consuming, the hard movements and the hard hand movements. Oh, you guys like the hands? Are you guys hand people? You guys like the hands? Actually, VTubers that move, I really despise. Midas. This is a hate relationship, bro. Robert, you don't like her moving too much? Wow, I see it. Her is just like me. Parasocial Andy's thinking they can control the women on what? What? But yeah, we're talking about models moving and compared to other ones. What's this honey trap you guys keep on talking about? What's going on? What's going on? Left hanging for 9 hours in voice call. Wow.
You were not left hanging for 9 hours. Oh my god.
Oh snap.
So
oh, okay, there's a story behind this one. Okay, let's hear it.
I was made to go to a religious thing, and I had been doing work on the computer, and as I was leaving to go to this religious thing, because it was an all-day thing, I had accidentally hit something on my keyboard, and that had me enter the Discord call. And I didn't know. Nobody let me know for hours that I was sitting there in a Discord call, like on my computer. Thankfully, it was like an empty house, so it was like nobody could hear anything because there's nothing to hear. But like, it was like hours and hours later, somebody finally messaged me saying, "So, when are you actually coming back to call?" And I'm like, "Huh?
Huh?
What are you talking about?" It's like, "You've been sitting in Discord for like multiple hours now." And it's like, "Excuse me?"
What?
Anyway,
wow.
so what I did is, to circumvent it, I quickly rejoined, in air quotes, on my phone, and that disconnected me from the house computer, and then I left the call from my phone. But no, you were not left hanging. I wasn't kidnapped.
You were not. You were not. I promise. I promise. But why was your PC on in the first place? Why did you have it run the whole time while you were gone?
Because I'm very bad with my technology and I never turn things off.
Man, I feel bad for your PC.
I do, but when I'm in a rush, I don't think about like things like that, right?
Right. Robert says, I like movement, but also I enjoy like a restrained, but a sort of thing on the same time, because not moving is a movement itself. So when you finally move, it's a trick. KGB was just listening. Oh no, the KGB was listening. They're listening in on me talking and gushing over Vtuber models. Oh no, I'm in trouble.
Crazy.
I like VTubers that move a lot. It's like why have a nice model if you can't express it? Yeah, that's why I agree with. I agree with that. The Glowy was talking about how V-Roid glows. You numbnut. Oh.
No, I know that that's what they were referring to. The yellow initially would glow, but like I thought that was a fun thing. Okay, so sue me.
If you're restrained, then that's the choice. When you are unrestrained, it suddenly has 10 times more power. I heard movement thought you were back soon. Shut up. Oh. Psycho, you
in the house.
I love Psycho. Psycho's you're a spicy fella. I like you. You're spicy.
You know, like you and Robert can go have a cage match together. Go fight each other.
That'd be a good fight.
I don't want to hear it.
I want to see that fight. I want to see Robert versus Psycho. I want to see that. That'd be the next cage match. Hell in a Cell. Kind of stuff like that.
Anyway,
I did see Phantom do a spin, so let's get a spin in from Phantom. This is his question. This might be. Cool. Do you like to watch YouTubers? As a YouTuber yourself, is there any specific content creators you like to watch? You don't have to go into any of the personal stuff, but is there anyone you enjoy watching?
Pyrocynical.
Pyrocynical?
Pyrocynical.
Pyrocynical. Oh, that one. What did they make?
He's been around for quite a while. How does one describe Pyrocynical? Sometimes he does lots of commentary. Lots of commentary. Damn, now that I think about it, he's actually the same age as me. That's crazy. I think that's the best way to describe him. He does commentary. Literally, it's a bit chaotic. You'd have to actually look into him. Yeah, he's not a furry. Okay, actually, I guess he is a furry. Yeah. Okay. No, he's a very silly guy.
It's simple.
Yeah, kind of. He does video essays now. He used to do just like typical commentary YouTuber schlock.
I like the video like TV.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not heard of it though. I will definitely say that I've never seen it.
I think you would actually very much so find his sense of humor appealing.
I'll have to check him out. I'll give him a follow. I'll check him out definitely. He's the furry choice.
He's not. Get this. The chat likes to try and gaslight me into thinking that I'm a furry, but I'm not.
You're not. Okay, can you prove to me right now and chat the rest of the world that you're not a furry?
Yes, I'll do it right now on camera.
Camera live.
You know how I can prove that I'm not a furry?
Like pulls out a
By
My Little
not
Pony.
fursuiting.
It's
I'm
true.
not fursuiting.
Wait, so that means are you saying?
I don't want to fuck Bugs Bunny.
Okay, so are you saying that you are a furry if you wear a fursuit and you want to have sex with a cartoon character?
I mean, yeah, lots of them do that, so I would assume that is what it takes to be a furry.
So that means people who wear cat ears and a plugged up tail, not furries.
I like how you didn't even say, "Oh, the Velcro tails," or like the
Nope,
elastic
nope.
tails. No, you went.
I went
straight for the
ham.
Plug.
I went up ham.
You absolute degenerate.
So,
Mods, can we castrate Robert Sidley?
just go right to Robert. It's like, what did I do?
No, right, Robert knows exactly what he's doing. Let's move on to the next question.
Oh, from ZZZ, right? Von Lycon?
is just a glorified regular guy.
A regular
with, like,
guy.
a little snout. He
The
does
little
not
snout.
look anything like a furry.
Does not look
like-
what do you mean? He's the absolute definition of a furry. He looks like he has a fursuit on.
Look up any actual fursuiter and compare the two. And then look up an anime guy from the same universe as Von Lycon. He looks more just like a slightly fuzzy anime guy with a slightly pulled out snoot. His eyes don't have that weird, uncanny valley, hideous furry thing going on. And he doesn't look like a beast. He just looks like a freaking lumberjack with a facial disorder.
I just love how you try and describe how you're trying so hard to make sure that he does not sound wrong. But I you know what? Like I can see your point, but I just love your definition of a furry because you're not helping your case very well. So
They're roasting me in chat. I'm keeping my head above water, and they're roasting me. They're roasting me.
They're roasting me. You know what?
Oh.
You know what? Well, you know what? I think you should be fine with the fact that you really like Lycon. Lycon's a really cool character. And I think he's really awesome. I like how gentleman.
I don't
he
even
is.
really like him. I just said once. Damn, that's a good-looking character. I've never played the game. I've never farmed for him. He's not an obsession of mine. These people are off their rocker.
I imagine like at her house she has like a body pillow of him.
I hate all of you. I hate all of you. You're all going on my shit list.
No worries, no worries. This is when I go into Google and like look up body pillow and I just slowly part it right into stream right next to her. It's right behind her.
That's insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't totally do that. Give me 1 second. But no, I like that. I like that. Well, no, again, nothing's wrong with that. Like I like Nikomata. Do you think I'm a furry for liking Nikomata?
I don't know who Nikomata is.
She's one of the characters in ZZZ.
Again, literally, I've never played the game.
Oh.
That's just one of the things that pops on my timeline.
Ah, okay, well.
Unfortunately, I'm more of a Genshin shithead.
Oh, well, if you see my freaking posts in the back, I'm also a Genshin.
Hey.
I love the Genshins
There we
too.
go.
Okay, so Yaimiko. Am I a furry for liking Yaimiko?
She's just a human with ears and a tail. She's straight up a human. You're not committing bestiality if
Okay.
you had intercourse with Yaimiko.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I just had to double check. Well, these are the kind of conversations we have on our talk show, by the way. Like, this is very important. We have to get down to the news and truth about everything. So it's good to know
The nitty-gritty.
the nitty-gritty of the furry talk. You came here first. I love it. We will not bend the knee. Will not bend the knee. You should play ZZZ though. I think you'd like it a lot. It's a really fun game.
Again, I just never have time to play games.
True.
Otherwise, I would. Hell, I'm still not even caught up on Genshin. I last played Inazuma.
Oh wow! So you haven't gotten into like Sumeru or like Fontaine.
Nope.
Wow. You like Fontaine. I think you like Fontaine. As your style. I feel like it has your style.
I'm caught up with the lore of Genshin, so I know what happens in the storyline because,
Okay.
again, I'm very invested in it. And Farina is probably like Farina, Venti, and Kaya are my 3 favorite characters
I love Free.
in Genshin. Farina, very peak.
Very peak. Very good. Very good. Very good soup. Very good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup. Good soup. All right, so now we did talk a little bit about it, and I think we actually got in a lot of more discussion about it. But to wrap everything finally up, do you want to go into a little bit more of your backstory or lore? Any things that we have yet to talk about? That was not a spin, right? I didn't miss a spin. You guys talked a lot. I love it. Thank you so much for talking a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm not much of a gamer, but I will try anything once. Like,
Sure, you should try it. I think
Yeah.
you should definitely try it. I think you'll like it a lot. And who knows, you might get Lycon.
no, I would obstinately refuse to pull for Lycon because I know I'd get bullied endlessly for it. And you know what? I'd probably deserve it too. So we're not pulling for anything. We're not playing ZZZ
You
out
wouldn't
of
play.
spite.
You wouldn't play for any of the characters. So you all
Out
the
of spite.
free stuff. You get all the free pulls. You in spite not pull on any of the banners. Any of the banners.
Mm.
Wow.
What can I say? I'm dedicated to the mindset grindset.
Yep.
Yeah.
you do it for the bit. Do it for the bit.
Committing to the bit has taken me to places I wouldn't go with a gun.
True. That is definitely something I do not recommend you doing. I love it. Oh, you should play for Jane Doe then. You should play for Jane Doe. Pull for Jane Doe.
Jane Doe is like the furthest on the scale before it gets to. No, she's not. She's still safely non-furry.
Yeah, she's not furry at all. I don't think so.
She's just sexy woman with a cosplay on.
She's a sexy woman. She's a sexy woman with like ears and a tail.
Yeah.
She's in there. There's that new girl in the new update where it's like she's like a cat. She's like a jaguar kind of looking girl.
Hmm. Yeah, that woman had a lot of controversy because of a motion trace.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, wait, was that Zenless on Zero or was that Genshin? I think actually that was Genshin. There was shoot for the
Well, the new
Natlin.
upcoming one. Yeah, the new upcoming lady. I heard that she got a little controversy.
Yeah, no, Hoyoverse took a media from someone's social media, like a video from someone's social media post of a professional skater who was doing some tricks and a specific kind of dance that she made,
Mhm.
and they copied it one for one, kind of like how Fortnite does it. But unlike Fortnite, they didn't ask her and they didn't pay her
Oh.
in the slightest. And so that was a big mess. And they recently redid the whole animation.
Oh, really? Oh, so it's not that cool like dancing, skating thing anymore?
It's still a cool dancing skating thing. It's just not the stolen one.
Okay, good.
Because she came out and said, hey, if this is released in the final version of the game and it isn't just like the leaks, I have legal grounds to sue. Like, I've got my lawyer here. And then immediately,
Wow.
animation was changed.
You know, fair, very fair. Like, I'm glad that they still kept the style, but just changed up a little bit. Hello, Vika. She's actually someone I'm gonna be interviewing down the road. So I'm looking forward to her. She's a bug VTuber. Really cool. I really like the design. Sorry.
Bug VTubers are awesome.
Right? I thought that was really cool. So I love her design, and I'm looking forward to it. Talking to her in conversation. She's actually be debuting this October. So.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But yes, no, like I'm glad that they're like changing it because obviously don't copy. I know, right? But
Well, if you copy, then it's fair game for people to come after you.
true, awesome, and
So,
like doesn't
yeah.
matter how big you are. Like if you literally copy off a person, Don't. Yeah, just don't. Just don't. Just don't. How about that?
It's
Don't.
just not good optics.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. You freaked me out. Warm toast. Freaked me down. See, like, stream died from me. What did I miss? I'm like, that's like the most scariest thing to tell a streamer. Oh my god. I've had issues like that in the past. So like, if you guys pretend that like everything's dead, I'll cry. I'll cry. Oh, you wanted to roll a spin, huh?
I have a question for you.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how the wheel goes though. So like, does it spin organically or is it?
No, I have to hit it. I have to hit it.
Okay.
I have to control it because like sometimes we'll get into a really good heated conversation and I don't want to spin to interrupt it. So sometimes I'll wait until. Hopefully this is not directed to me because this is an embarrassing story question.
So tell the class your embarrassing
Wait,
story.
that's not how that works, miss. No.
Come on, I redeem the points.
What? That's never been done before. That's not how that works. You redeem the points.
Would you deny your guest a special story?
Ooh, I have to change the rules around. I'm gonna tell more people about that. Okay, I'll let this one slide, but you also have to say you also have to say the expressing story too. You have to do it.
All right, I'll do it, but you first.
Okay. Let me think of one. Man, I already talked about how I freaking cosplay as Joker. That's super embarrassing. What's another one? Okay.
That's hardly embarrassing. I also cosplayed as Joker, except it was Batman Joker.
Oh, that's different. That's a little bit different. At least you're not Jay Leto like Joker. That'd been
No. It was classic.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys will see this as embarrassing. I thought it was super embarrassing. So this actually happened literally yesterday. I was at work and I do like a service industry, so I have to be very like customer service oriented. Like customer service was like the big thing you got to do. And one of the things that was going on in my branch is that we were pretty low, so we had to find new ways to like give that wow factor for our customers. And one of the things they asked me to do is that when you see a customer approaching the door, you have to run up to the door and open it for them to let them know that, hey, welcome to the show. It's really dumb. No, it's okay. But it's really dumb and it doesn't really help customer service at all. I think people just kind of surprised and like, okay, what the frick kind of situation. But that's what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to open up the door for them. So I was trying my best to like kind of like see them coming because the windows, like if you see a customer coming by, like it's already too late. They're already walking up to the door and open it. So I'm behind the counter, so I have to literally bolt to the door if I see someone coming up to the door. So I was doing pretty good, kind of keeping my eye on it, but I got distracted once and I saw a customer coming in. So I bolted to the door and opened it, swung it all the way open, and the customer's like, what the frig? I was like, hi, welcome to Enterprise. And he just looked at me like, and he just walked right past me away from the building. I was like, oh, you were not supposed to come in here. Yeah,
Aggressive advertising techniques.
I just going to die over here for a little bit.
Just gonna curl up into a tinfoil ball. All right, you know what? A deal's a deal. I'll go 1 for 1.
Yep.
Now, this happened pretty recently, and some people that are my frequent regulars would know this story because it happened because of stream. But I was prepping a hand cam stream where I needed parts for my sewing machine because my sewing machine was broken and I needed to jerry rig like a hand crank so that I could make the pedals move. The needle move. Now that didn't actually end up working, but that's not part of the story. So I went to the local hardware store and I went and I got like a crank, I got some like tape, and it was all good. I get up to the till and this elderly gentleman is at the till and I've got my items, I'm ready to pay, and he looks at my shirt. Now I am wearing my own merch because I illustrated my own shirt. And it was just the thing I had closest to me that I put on before I went out. I didn't even realize I was wearing my merch. And he looks at it and he looks at me and he's just like, oh, well, what's that from? What character is that from? Cartoon, whatever. And I went, oh, that's actually mine. I drew it myself, because that's just what I do. And he's like, oh, that's yours, huh? So, it must be nice to have so much free time. And I was kind of like frozen, like, huh? And he's just like, you know, you really should get a job. And they're like totally violated because it's like, I don't know this man.
Yeah.
This is the only interaction I've ever had with him. I'm just trying to buy stuff from him. And I'm going, yeah. Please give me the fucking tape, sir.
Yeah, like what? Who does that?
Why don't you try getting a job? And it's just like, yeah.
Like how do you think I'm buying this stuff? Like I obviously have money, so I'm doing something right. That's so weird. That's such a weird thing to say.
I totally scampered away with my tail between my legs. It was very embarrassing because it's just like, well, is this like a judgment of my artwork? Is my art that bad that you think I'm struggling? Or like, do I look homeless? Or like, what's the angle here?
Yeah.
How exactly is he trying to insult me? Because I'm just not intelligent enough to pick out the nuances of this incredibly intricate roast.
Yeah, I just want to say that he's an old guy. He's just a freaking old guy who just complains about everything. You young kids nowadays going with the animes and the video games. Oh, go get a real job. Go work at the mines or something. You know, like I think that's what it really was. I don't think it had anything to do with your art at all. I think he just
I don't think so either. But it was still like it was still like one of those moments where I received insane psychic damage. It was great.
Yeah, I can see that. Out of touch old man, yeah. Trying to think of
Midas would not survive a minute of mining.
Nah, she doesn't look like a miner.
Yeah.
Go next question.
Or crafting.
Mine or crafting. No, dreadful.
I played Minecraft for the first time ever with Robert Sidley very recently. He was teaching me the ins and outs, and it took multiple hours for me to learn how to craft like a pickaxe or a shovel because I don't play video games. This isn't a natural thing for me to figure out. It was very frustrating for him, and it was very funny to see him mauled. But it was also genuinely frustrating for me because I just couldn't figure this out.
I wish I saw that. Do you have the video of that? Do you have a video of that?
Nah, that was off stream.
I want to see you mining. I want to see you mining. That'd be good. I want to see the crafting and mining.
I don't know if the world is ready for me to do a Minecraft Let's Play.
Ooh, guys, that might be a goal in the future. Yeah, it might be a goal in the future.
Now these people don't. No, the extent of my gaming is my drunk driving stream broadcast. I have had a very hard time getting my driver's license in real life, so I basically had a broadcast where I did a bunch of driving tests with my chat, and when I passed, I could do a practical test. So I did some tests and I drank some cider. Like I drank alcohol. So by the end of getting these tests done, I was absolutely sloshed. I was trashed. And so then I opened up GTA, and Robert Sidley was my driving instructor. And so I was on a drunken road rage rampage while trying to follow the rules of the road while in GTA. It was an interesting stream, I will say.
It sounds like a one. I'll have to check that one out. I gotta check that one because that sounds hilarious. I want to see you drunk. That'd be great. That'd be great. What does this Anna mean? What does the Anna mean? What does this Anna mean? If you have time, Trickle, if you have time, watch the video. Generally, the things that Midas has trouble with is you pick up as a passenger while never caring about the road rules. I have to check it out, Psycho. I have to check it out. It sounds like it'd be right up my alley of comedy. I think it'd be great. Stay away from the Rockies, and you'll be fine. We didn't really go into the lore and backstory about you. Do you have anything else you want to talk about when it comes to that, or you want to move on?
I feel like it's hard to say really much because this doesn't really have like a super in-depth character backstory. It's more just the way I've been running things is that I've just been saying my personal life experiences in real life, and the character itself is not a fantasy creature. It's just like a human. So there's no like intricate, I'm a fox demon from the spirit realm. It's I'm person.
I'm person.
And
I'm a thing. I'm a government
I-
agent. Is what it is.
I'm a human, and this is my human avatar.
I'm a human. I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
Alright.
the fact that Midas gave us Lord Hall is a miracle. Yeah, you better appreciate it.
Appreciate this. I did this for you guys. For you guys. I
No, it was fun to do. I love storytelling, and it was fun to do.
I like
But
it.
yeah.
That's good.
It really isn't that much deeper.
No, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I think that actually works out. So you ready for?
Actually, one last thing that I think you might find interesting. One thing that I've been very open about for a very long time is that I've been trying to apply for companies from day one, right? And I failed every single audition, and so everybody's been following my failure journey.
Oh, you just trying
I'm
to become in.
I'm on number 76.
Like legit, are you actually trying to get into like Hollow Live and VShojo and stuff like that?
I'm not going to say where I've tried and how because that jeopardizes everything, right? But like historically, before Midas, it was just always my big goal and big dream to be attached to one of these groups so that I could make something with staying power and that has value. And it would be a further way to elevate what I can currently do with my skill set. Now, it hasn't worked out. So it's interesting, but that's also part of like the Midas frustration. One of the earliest videos was me literally bashing my head into a wall.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, jeez.
No, that's why Midas exists.
Oh no! No, that's not how you make VTuber models. No, you don't like You know what an idea would be? No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Midas promised a cake at 100 and quit applying at one point. We're so back, where are we? Well, we haven't hit 100.
Nope.
We haven't hit 100. We're only at 76 and quit applying at one point. And I was very strongly, it's a very addictive kind of thing for somebody to apply to these things, especially when you sometimes get some responses and sometimes don't. It's like gambling
Mm-hmm.
in that there's rewards in your brain that spark off. You feel important, you feel wanted, and you get that hit of dopamine rush. And so then you apply for another place, and it just goes over and over and over again. And then it's like the crash of getting another rejection letter is like devastating. So then you apply to another one. Now, I've gotten out of that cycle, and I no longer apply with such obsessive fervor, and I'm more careful with how and what I do. And I actually don't really plan to apply to places moving forward because of just how I am now in the space, how I've matured. But it's one of the reasons why a lot of small indies get very discouraged because they've been sold an ideal and a dream of a VTubing space that has been gone for years. If that makes sense, because long gone are the days of companies will snap up anybody if they've just got a little bit of talent. Now you've got to be the full package, and you have to be able to prove it before you even have your first interview. And that didn't used to be the case. Like, this is not a dig, but early Niji EN, there was I can't remember, Finana? She put out what her audition reel was, and it was bare bones, very little, very nothing, because companies were looking for anybody that was kind of all right and that they could mold. Nowadays, things are so much different for what people look for and how they choose things. And personally, myself, I've discovered that I'm just not somebody that people tend to gravitate towards company wise because I'm very abrasive, but I'm also not entirely adorable, right? I've got lots of skill sets and I can prove it, but at the end of the day, that isn't what they look for anymore. People have very narrow, specific views. So 76, it might just be the cutoff for me. So there's an interesting little diatribe for me.
I like it. No, that's really interesting. I like hearing these kind of stories about going into that kind of stuff because I do see like the glorification of it online, but no one really talks about like the actual like ins and outs of being rejected and retrying it and rejected and retrying it out, and the sense of like I can see like the dopamine levels of like just increasing immensely when you like put in for like a really big like gig and they actually respond to you and like, hey, hello, how are you? You're like, oh, what? Maybe this would change my whole life. And then they say, oh, we are unfortunately not taking you. You're like, oh, gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Most of the time, people don't like to be talking about this very openly because they fear that this will ruin their chances moving forward at a different place if they're open about it. Because to be fair, that is the policy. Like lots of places, if they see that you talk negatively or just talk about the audition circuit at all, that you're a liability and cannot be trusted. Which is like another like when you give up, like how preciously you feel about doing this kind of thing and it no longer becomes a priority, it doesn't really matter, right? So I feel very comfortable doing it, and I think it's important for people to see that all kinds of people get through, but all kinds of people also fail, and that even though it's been sold as a beautiful dream that people can achieve, even like with a mixture of hard work and luck, you're less likely than you think. And it's not a reflection of you and your value as a person. It's in part a reflection of maybe your progress and your content creation journey, but also the atmosphere of the place that's hiring at that point in time.
I agree. 100%. So yeah, keep trying. Don't give up, but also don't be obsessive. Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Also, I gotta mention this one thing because Psycho's being nice. Not adorable is a lie, though it depends on who you ask. I can find any movements where Midas is, but I'll stop being truthfully kind to Midas at this. Is that kind? I just saw that you being really trying about it, and then all of a sudden I see this, like, oh yeah, find movements. Like, did I read that right?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, Psycho, if you're being nice, thank you, but also, yes, movements and not movements. Oh, moments! Oh, my bad. That's why I spelled it wrong. I said it wrong. I can find many moments where Merida is. Ah, okay. So that's good moments. Good moments.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's move forward.
Yeah, let's talk about something that is completely less controversial, right? Let's not go into any more controversial. Oh, what is this question? What's your thoughts on the VTuber community at the moment?
Well, I guess that kind of ties into it.
Yeah, a little bit actually. Actually, it works perfectly. Adorable.
One of my earliest videos actually covered this topic, but it's very incestuous in how it works. It's all about it. It's a reflection directly of just content creation in general, like flesh tubing as well, or Hollywood, or the music sphere. It's not like as massive as those things, but it's gotten big enough now that it's starting to reflect a lot of the same behaviors. It's about now who you can connect to the strongest, how many eyes you can get in front of. It's very much so VTubers will create content for other VTubers, and they're starting to like bubble themselves and isolate themselves away from the rest of society. So you're getting less VTubers making content for non-VTubers these days, right? So, for example, my audience, I try to target people who don't typically watch VTubers. I target people who typically watch commentary videos that are done by flesh tubers. And this means that I bring a lot of new people into the scene that maybe haven't been purposely consuming this content before because they think it's cringe or they can't relate to it. Because they have found the person that they relate to. Whereas I will go on Twitter and I will just see VTuber networking Fred. Oh my God, be my VTuber friend. Anybody want to do VTuber collabs? And everybody is only, or you go on YouTube and the YouTube VTubers will be like talking about only VTuber drama for other VTubers that care about VTubers to look at, or VTuber-based controversies around only other VTubers. Like it's very insular, and there's a very small, comparatively, audience that is interested in that. And it gets to the point where you've satisfied that need. Like you don't need every VTuber talking about the same topic about VTubers. The point of VTubing is that it's an extension of a person's creative capabilities and personality, such that they can represent themselves however they want, talk about whatever they want, they can create and do whatever they want. But I'm seeing a lot of VTubers have decided what they want to do is just talk about how cool VTubers are, or just talk about VTubers, or create VTuber based things. And that's a shame. That's why I don't typically talk about VTubers unless prompted. I talk about some real world stuff. I talk about personal opinions. Maybe I talk about a video game or a movie, but you're gonna be hard pressed, unless it's like a really big, obnoxious thing that happened that's really funny, to have me talking about things that happen in the VTubing space, because none of my audience would care, and I barely care.
No, I like that's actually very, very good. I like the way you like explain that to me, because that is actually very true, 100%. A lot of people need to realize that just talking about VTubing stuff as a VTuber doesn't really do anything for you, because everyone else is doing the same thing. What you're doing is actually very clever. You are a VTuber, but you are not talking about the VTubing stuff. You're talking about just real life stuff, things that you just find interesting, and you're using your model as a content creator, like a puppet, like you were mentioning before. So I do like that. Like, a lot of VTubers are like trying to go away from like the style that makes a VTuber and just making it seem like they are just a regular person, but just using a VTuber model. But you're right, there's still a huge demographic of people who just likes to use the VTuber tag and style as the hook. That, like, hey, I am a VTuber, so you should like me because I'm a VTuber, instead of it being like, hey, I make this content that you might like. Yeah, I'm using a VTuber model, but that shouldn't stem away from what you want to see, what you like. But you might like it even more because I use a VTuber model, but not for the sole reason.
I mean, that's the reason why people like Onigiri do so well, because even though she's a VTuber, she appeals to non-VTubers because she does cooking content.
Yeah.
Or Bao is Bao.
Bao is Bao. Bao is Bao.
Bao is Bao, right? And she appeals to a lot of the interesting, edgier non-VTuber fans that are going in for the first time, right? She's not necessarily targeting only VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion on the VTuber space. It's too insular, and there's a lot of potential there for people to grow and to do really well if they just took their head out of their ass.
True. 100%. No, 100%. Don't agree. I definitely see that is going to be the next layer of content creations in the future, because I think what it was that when VTubers first hit, a lot of people just liked the idea of VTubers. They like the avatar kind of stuff and then pretty models kind of stuff. So people thought that they could just jump into, like, as a VTuber and just catch on the coattails of how the popularity came and going. But now that people are starting to realize that they're just as credible as other content creators, then now they're going to actually now only want to watch them if they actually bring some kind of sort of like enjoyment or entertainment to them, not just because they're using a very cute model.
Exactly. And that's why, like, there's nothing wrong with VTubers where their main content is gaming, but it's almost as competitive now as the flesh tubers that do their main content is gaming. There's so much of it that you cannot stand out without a gimmick or without secondary content to supplement it. Like,
you have to have something extra. You can't just do that by yourself. And that's why I see a lot of content creators trying to like add more things to it. Like, at least in the gaming sphere, as someone who's heavily in the gaming sphere, I do see a lot of people like who are normally known for just being like a gamer kind of side of things. Like, I only stream these kind of games. They're trying now to do more other stuff. You know what's the really popular thing to do now as like an up and coming gamer content creator?
What is it?
The tutorials. Like, hey, this is how you can be the next content creator in your gaming streams. And they talk about these like fun little add-ons you can do, and get this and get that, and make sure you have this settings on. I've noticed that's like the new big thing.
That is also something that you see a lot in the VTuber space.
Yeah.
Just a lot of Tutorial
Yep, a
tubers.
lot of tutorial tubers too. So like they're jumping on those kind of things. But I honestly believe people like you and your kind of content is going to be the ones that are actually going to stick around for the long term, because the people are going to realize that you are just you as a content creator, just using the model that utilizes your content. You know, you're not trying to sell off your content as a VTuber. You're just a content creator who uses a VTuber model. I remember I interviewed Elora. I don't know if you know her, but I interviewed
Yes,
Elora, and when I first interviewed her for the very first time, I told her that she was like a streamer. She was a VTuber, and she specifically told me multiple times, like, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a streamer, I'm not a VTuber, I'm a content creator. And like now I'm starting to realize like what she meant by that, because she wants to be known as a content creator over her as a VTuber. And I think that's what most VTubers need to consider themselves as, is they need to be utilize their models and their content instead of just catching on the coattails of the VTuber tag. You know?
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. That's good. Good discussion. I like that. That was really good. That was a good one. I think that was really let me I think someone was saying something that was really, really cool. I mean, if they're really collaborating at all with me, makes no sense. It is not at all how a VTuber should grow, but it's doing what's interesting and what's fun. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, what Robert Sidley is specifically referencing is the fact that when I do play a game, I usually do it with another person, or I collaborate, and I commit the heinous crime, the horrible sin of being in the same stream as a male.
Oh no!
Oh, not a male.
Not a male.
Oh, the unicorns in my comments.
Oh.
They hate it.
Why? Like, why are you dealing with that,
people? Two of you never gonna make it. Collaborating with males. Yes, that's not how you grow. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, well, if I was trying to be a puritanical VTuber in the idol sphere, sure. But I'm not playing by idol rules. I'm trying to be an American YouTuber. Like, well, North American YouTuber. And so that means the game is different. How I'm playing this game is different.
Like, she's playing by her rules. Love it. But no, I like that's so crazy. I think Fairness I was saying like people that complain about that, because like as someone who is a male, I stream with a lot of female like VTubers a lot, and I kind of a lot of content creators, but also I stream a lot with male VTubers as well. And everyone across the spectrum. So I don't really have any issues with that, but if that's a big issue that a lot of people are having, is that if you stream with someone who's a different like sexual orientation as the other person, dang, it's kind of sad. It's like difficult to deal with.
It's mostly it's very, if the VTuber in question is very much so like either girlfriend experience, or they're in a company, or they are idol themed or idol based, that is when it hits like the peak of aggressiveness, so to speak. That's yeah.
I wonder that's one of the reasons why some of the VTubers have asked to come on my show don't respond to me.
I mean, I'm not gonna claim anything because I don't know who you've been asking.
I ask everyone. I ask everyone. Yeah. Everyone who has interesting designs or who would like have good conversations with, I usually ask. But if you have a cool, interesting design and you're fun to talk to, I'll DM you.
Midas is my girlfriend experience, mostly non-existent, not very real, and doesn't respond back.
Oh, psycho! That's so depressing. Why would you say that?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Oh my god. So I'm so sorry for you, my friend.
Midas responds to me. You know what, Robert? As punishment, I'm not responding to you either. I have a very hard time with DMs. My lovely host here, who was a victim to me having a hard time with DMs too.
Actually, yeah, I actually thought this stream might actually not happen, because like I asked her like, hey, Are we still good for this upcoming Saturday? Also, I need your PNG so I can make a thumbnail. Could you do that for me? Nothing. Just dead silence. And I was like,
Ah. You know what? If
hey,
it's any consolation, this is not unique treatment. I do this to the people closest to me in my life, and it drives them insane. And it's not on purpose. I need. Well, this is why I wanted to be in an agency. I desperately need management. I need.
ah,
No, I don't need a
agent.
babysitter, but I just need a little bit of help.
Need an
Just for
agent.
scheduling, just for reminders, and I hate relying on my friends to do that because that seems like an abuse of friendship, right? And so
Yeah, hire someone.
it's difficult. I tried that once and it was interesting.
Oh,
Anyway,
that would have been an
next
interesting
question.
story. That'd be an interesting story.
That's the story that I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, really? Okay. No, we won't go into that one. Cool. All right. Well, let's have some fun with some next ones then. Let's have some fun with next ones. These are all fun facts. It's fun facts, random questions. And again, you guys feel free to hit some spins if you like. But first, if you could live in any video game anime world, what world would you like to live in?
Ooh, interesting.
Little fun facts. This is a little fun. These last questions are just for fun.
Well, my question for that is do I spawn into this Silent Hill? No.
What? Are you okay, my friend? You do not want to live in Silent Hill. I can assure you.
I know. I think that's just Furnace trying to curse me into a miserable existence on purpose for the memes.
Just for the memes. For the memes.
Okay, when we are being, let's say, isekai'd into these anime or game worlds, are we being sent, like, is it like a random chance of us getting those worlds' powers, or are we guaranteed like a protagonist buff where we can have a power of some sort?
So how I think about it, at least my rules, is that you as your individual, just your vanilla self, just pops into that world. Now, if in that world you can gather those items or magic throughout the world, then yes, go for it. But you don't just get protagonist powers. Like if you go into Dragon Ball Z, you're not just like Super Saiyan worthy. You know, you can't do that. But if you're in Pokemon, you can buy a Pokeball and capture a Pokemon.
Oh, this is difficult.
I only ask the hard-hitting questions on my show. Maybe sometimes.
I'm torn between a few things, but I'm gonna say Dragon Age Origins.
Dragon Age Origins, that would be a cool one. Okay, I can see that. Are you excited?
What about you?
For me, it's always been Pokemon. I will always love to live in a Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I grew up loving Pokemon, and I would love to have just a family of ghost type Pokemon. I always love ghost type.
That's pretty sweet.
All right, thank you. Now, speaking of Dragon Age, hey, game is coming out pretty soon. The next Dragon Age game. Are you looking forward to that? I know you don't have a lot of time to play video games, but
I'm looking forward to whatever Let's Play for it I can see.
You're gonna watch it, but you can cuss. You can have all the dialogue and changes of the choices.
Yes, but like, I don't have the time.
I know the feeling. When you're an adult, you end up not having any time.
At this point, I watch more Let's Plays of games than I actually play them, which is why actually gamer content creators are very valuable for people like me. I can just have it on in the background while I'm doing like video editing or drawing or whatever.
Nice. I like that. I actually agree with that. There's still room for game content. I like that. Well, hey, I would love to see you one day maybe play some of those games. Watching the games is more comfortable than playing them. Sadly, I have learned that like 7 years ago. You know what? It depends on the game. Like, I definitely agree on a lot of games, but I feel like if you feel like you could change it and you would do something different if they play it, then I feel like you should play it. But also, if you have time. We old people don't have a lot of time because we work all the time. Work time. Cool, awesome. What's the next question? Next question I got for you is, okay, this actually might be fun. You, as someone who's actually going into a lot of the different industries, hopefully this doesn't dox the kind of industries you want to go into, but if you could collab with any VTuber out there, no matter how big or small they are, who would you like to collab with?
Neurosama.
Neurosama, straight up, wow.
Yeah, straight up, Neurosama.
Nice. She's great. I love her.
She's awesome.
I love that. Like why like are you just been like is she like your Oshi quote unquote or is she like is like someone you look up to or you just think it'd be fun to hang out with?
I just think it would be fun to hang out. No, my Oshi is Yusan.
Okay.
Usan, yeah. The singer singing VTuber. The ex Niji Sanji talent.
Yes, I definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So going into another question, then, would you ever do any more karaoke streams or like singing content?
I do quite a bit of singing content on my own. People have been requesting a singing stream, so I got to figure out how to make that work without YouTube castrating me. Once I can figure that out, then we'll have a karaoke stream.
That'd be cool. We gotta see it. We gotta see this. Oh, I thought your Oshi would be Nick Cage. I can definitely see her.
I
Like
mean,
Nick
you know
Cage.
what? Yeah. Oh, I'm
A
torn.
VTuber,
I'm
Nick
torn.
Cage. Yeah.
He could be my Kamiyoshi. That's
Yep.
true.
I can see that. Definitely 100%. You'd be a good one too. I might have to. I might
I
actually
mean,
have to
when
have
I
him
play
on
Dead by
stream.
Daylight, and that's one of the few games I do play,
Ooh.
I am a Nick Cage main.
Nice. Hey, if you ever play Dead by Daylight and you need another person to hang out with, let me know. I like to play the
Need a
game
plus
too.
one.
Need a plus one.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I actually love playing
I mean,
that game.
it is October, spooky season.
Spooky season. Hey, hit me up. Hit me up. We'll play. It'll be a next collab. Next collab, we'll do that. Awesome. And next question is that what is not this one. What is next for you? What is going to be your goal? What would you like to do next as Midas? What's the core? What's the next part you'd like to do?
What's the core? What's at the core? What's the end game?
What's the end game?
What's the end game?
Ooh.
Well, I think I'd like to build not like in a professional sense, but like in a I'd like to build a group, not like a group, but like a cohort of other people that are like-minded, make similar content to bounce off of and grow together with. Not like numbers wise, but like evolutionarily in how we create things. I think that's ultimately what I want most out of content creation is just a really tight-knit group of people. Which is why like I really again that's why the company's always appealed to me. It's because that's built in, right? But I think organically on my own, I'm slowly starting to build my little unit, and I love my people.
I like it.
Yeah.
So you would maybe make your own corporate like kind of entity, like your own little thing.
No. It wouldn't be official. It would be more just. It would be
so fun.
more. It would be just people with a shared interest. I have no business acumen. I could not run an organization. It would have to be a bunch of dedicated indies making decisions together.
Okay, I like that. I thought it'd be kind of cool to see you as like a corporate kind of thing, and you're the CEO, and you have all these other like people within underneath you.
I would never claim to be as intelligent enough to run one of those things.
That'd be cool though. That'd be cool. A whole private militia. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But no, okay, I see your point though. That'd be kind of cool to see you just grow as content with other content creators who have similar mindset. I think that actually be really cool. I definitely say you are very unique, and there's not many people who do what you do. So you probably will have to look around for some of them. But if you do find any of them, I would love to see.
Honestly, I find lots. I see them every day in the FleshTuber sphere. They don't have to be a VTuber.
Oh, okay.
They just gotta be somebody dedicated to making good shit and doing it a lot.
Nice. Consistency. It's all about consistency.
I need somebody who's like clinically insane.
Well, I don't think I can be that one, so unfortunately, I'll have to cross myself on my list.
You're striking yourself off the roster.
Unfortunately, like, because if you're clearly saying is the one of the perks of it, I might have a hard time with that one. Unfortunately.
Lamau, psych. Midas starts a corp. First move as CEO. Graduate herself because she's not corp material.
As my CEO, I am retiring. Peace out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I love that. That's like the funny thing to say when you like don't agree with someone.
I mean, it's a great thing to say when it's crazy.
It is crazy. It's very crazy. It's very
very crazy.
but yeah, no. When you have those applications, I will sign one. I will sign one. But it might be a little too crazy though. Might be awesome.
Just a little crazy.
A little crazy. We just need a little bit of insanity in this neck of the woods. All right. Well, then, are you ready for the last question of the night?
Yeah.
I like this question. This is my favorite question. And tell you the truth, you already been giving us just amazing like nuggets of information and advice and tips as a VTuber content creator. And I've been really, really like loving everything you've been talking about. So thank you so much again for coming on my show and like talking about this kind of stuff, because I actually took a lot from you, and I think you actually have some really good talking points. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the invite, and I thank you for being patient through my bad DM etiquette.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine. To tell you the truth, it's not the first time it's happened, and I've had worse situations and worse stuff happen to me, unfortunately.
Maybe, but it's still good to apologize when you do something wrong.
And I appreciate it, because again, that is also not the thing that a lot of people do. So thank you. All right, so we're going to get into a stretch, and we're going to get into a question wheel. Then we'll do our last question, okay? So as we do our next spin, you can get a nice stretch, because your body seems like it's distorting and changing throughout this entire stream. So I think you need to stretch more than I do.
Oh, I'm looking at my tracker across the room, and it's at like 3%. So my body just might my face will keep moving, but my body might randomly freeze in whatever pose it's currently in. So hopefully,
it should be funny.
Just
try and be funny.
Yes.
You put your peace signs in
like
that. Just do like rah.
Anyway, stretch you.
So let's do a spin. Go for that. Still don't believe you got a response, Tricko. Go get a lottery ticket. You won't regret it. Let us know the results. I'm not lucky at all. Have you seen my polls? If you ever seen any of my polls, you know I should not get a lottery ticket. All right, so this is a fun one. Do you have an ideal date? And you don't have to answer this one.
Do I have an ideal date? Maybe March 15th, because it's not too hot, not too cold, just the tail end of winter.
Yep, I agree on that one. I like March. March is my birth month, so I really like it. And
mine too.
Oh, hey, so much on that. That's actually really cool.
March 3rd. What about you?
March 2nd.
Holy shit!
Wow, that's actually crazy.
That's crazy.
That's actually legit crazy. I don't know how that happened. Cool, good to know. I like March too. I like the end of March, because that's usually when it starts to like warm up from the winter. So I think that's such a I like that. Awesome. Cool. All right, so I like this question. This is my final question. I like it a lot. That is crazy. It's so crazy. But the reason why I like this question so much is mostly because I've asked this question to Iron Mouse herself. So yeah, I actually had a panel, and we all had to ask them questions. And during the live panel, I was able to ask her this question. So in a way, the Iron Mouse has actually been on my show, kind of. It's a dream of mine. Separation. Yeah, true. It's a dream of mine to have her on my show one day. That's my goal.
I mean, if you have footage of that panel, you have it in a very nice, well-edited clip, put it on your YouTube channel as part of a segment for one of your shows, technically. Yeah.
I might have to do that.
All about the technicality. Anyway, ask the question.
So the question is, and again, you've already been answering this quite a bit, but let's get another golden nugget of your wisdom. Do you have any advice for those who want to get into streaming or VTubing? That's when she throws out the bombshell.
Any advice? Don't plagiarize off other content creators, because the attention you get from that is short-lived, and your reputation is damaged forever, and you are actually put on permanent company blacklists. So even if you think that it doesn't have any long-term effects because you've got the attention and then you made an original model, no, you are permanently damaged. You are damaged goods, and nobody will ever want to touch you. I have seen over and over again people that are talented, interesting, funny individuals that have ruined their chances because they got into a they were accused of plagiarizing from a larger content creator. Whether they did or they didn't, that has permanently excommunicated them from any chances of getting into a company. So,
wow, I actually didn't even know that's a thing. Like, so even
from the get-go, just make yourself to the best of your ability, as original as possible, and you can be simple. There is no crime in being simple. And if you want to take inspiration from somebody that, well, again, inspires you, there are ways to do it without one-to-one copying them. And if you're ever like unsure, reach out to an artist for a consultation. Like, you don't have to pay a fuck ton of money. There's some artists out there that'll just give you their opinions for free. You just got to find an artist who cares, right? And be like, hey, how are ways I could be inspired by this and reference this without copying, because I don't want to be plagiarizing? Any artist with their salt will help you through that. It is a worthwhile conversation to have, and it's a good talking point that you can then in the future touch upon. That's my advice.
That's smart. That's actually really smart. Because there's definitely been a lot of VTubers I've interviewed who were very inspired by a very specific model of theirs. And like there's been some times I'm just like, obviously you're inspired by this one. So it's actually really interesting to know that, like, one, you should 100% talk to your artist and like talk to them about those kind of like plagiarizing thoughts and like see if you can move around it. But also two, I didn't know that even if you just tried it, did a little sprinkle of plagiarize, you're blacklisted ever from content creating in those giant corporations. That's so interesting.
Yeah, no, people don't seem to realize that when you put something out publicly, it is public. People, not just the people that you want to be your fans, but the people that could be your business partners, are also looking at you on the same playing field. And if they see you as a liability or as somebody dishonest, people are going to cut their losses because they don't want to hire somebody that could cause them problems. And if the first thing they see about you is a plagiarism drama where people are lining up screenshots of your design up against somebody else's and there's red circles all around, they aren't going to want to even have to consider that in the future. And so if you ever reply to them, they will auto reject most of the time because they will have that name written down.
Wow, that's interesting. Like it makes sense. Like 100% makes sense. It just I never even thought about that. You know, like that's so interesting. Yeah, they would totally do that too. They would, because again, that would just this lawsuit waiting to happen. So like that definitely makes sense. Wow. Well, good. That's good advice. I like that. I haven't got one of those kind of advices in a while. So I thank you so much for giving me that. And again, thank you so much for coming to my show. Chat, thank you guys so much for coming in, chatting with us. I always had a great time with you guys. That was really fun. It was really good. And
I'm curious, sorry to interrupt your outro, but how did Iron Mouse answer that question?
She pretty much just said, and you can actually look at the TikTok. I have a TikTok, and you can actually look at the TikTok of her reaction to it live. So you can actually look up the actual video, because I had one of my friends like film it. And she literally zoomed up super close to the stream and just says, just do it. Just go out there. Don't care what it is. It's a free model. It's a PNG model. Just start streaming now. Just don't hesitate. Just go for it. Oh my God. Just do it. Oh my God.
Yeah, that is pretty solid.
That's pretty much her.
Yeah.
No, like if you go on my TikTok, you can actually see the actual clip of it happen.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend checking it out. But it's definitely, I like yours a lot because that's actually legitimate advice that you can actually like take to consideration.
Actionable.
Yeah, it's actionable. I like that kind of advice because like a lot of times they're just like, just do it. Just don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. And like, oh, that's good and all. And yeah, 100%. But also, you should definitely consider, you know, if you have a design in mind, make sure you don't plagiarize or else you are screwed.
I think Iron Mouse is coming more from the place of less trying to be motivational and more so along the lines of, to me, that sounds like she was specifically talking about VTweeters that are constantly pre-debut, but they have not made a single piece of content, or they stream once in a while, but they haven't like done anything with those VODs, and they let them expire, and they've got nothing. They got no backlog, no category. So if you want to chase it, do it. The most important thing is to create something worth viewing. Anyway,
No, I agree.
That's how I took that advice. Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, I have a personal advice to ask you, and I'll ask you this question, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Sure.
So, for me, as you can see, I'm a content creator, and I do a lot of different things. I do VTuber interviews, I do game news channels and shorts, and then I do my own streaming. But soon, I will have my own VTuber model, and I'll have a VTuber model to do things with, which I'm really excited about. Now, do you think I should make a completely different channel or just that model? Or should I interweave it with this content?
I think it really is a nuanced topic. It depends how much of your, well, I mean, you've done a lot of VTuber interviews, so you are already very much so integrated with the VTubing community in that behalf. So it wouldn't be a jarring thing for your audience. It would be almost a natural evolution and a next step. I would only be concerned about if, like, oh, and my tracking is gone. Let's go.
You like did the whole like.
I got my face tracker though, so I'm good here.
Hey, cool, awesome. I just love it because you like zoom right in front of me. I was like, oh, hi.
Chest of Midas. Shut up, sucky spirit. Anyway.
Remember, there's bunnies that filled that, so there's nothing there. It's just bunnies.
That filled there. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have a large normie audience presence?
I would say so. You know, they're pretty norm.
Well, by normie, I mean ones that would not typically watch VTuber content.
Oh.
Then I wouldn't be worried. I would be more worried if, let's say, you were doing more of proper gaming content and then once in a while you do a VTuber thing, then I would say make it separate. But if the majority of your content has featured a lot of VTubers, then I wouldn't worry too much. I just think it would be up to your personal preference then.
All right, that makes sense. My Twitch is very heavily VTuber audience. On my YouTube and my TikTok is very gaming audience. That might be the thing.
Okay, well then that would be the consideration then. Maybe Twitch, you use your VTuber model. You don't have to make a second Twitch, but then maybe make a different TikTok and maybe make a different second YouTube.
I like that. Okay. That's what I was thinking too, but I wanted to get your advice on it. Well, awesome. Well, hey, again, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for coming on my show and giving me your time. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, there might be a little bit of miscommunication going on, but I still think it was worth it in the end. So everything was great. I love it. It was great. And thank you, chatters. You guys actually were chatting throughout the entire stream, so thank you so much. I wanted to check out and discuss every single thing you guys were talking about, and I was reading a lot of the things you were talking about. But man, you guys have a lot of good things to talk about. Some things are things I need to maybe watch out for. You guys talked about some really interesting things. We might have to have a conversation about later.
Yeah, I brought the yapping squad.
The yappers, I love the yappers. Thank you so much for your yappings. It's very good, very good. Now, during this time, I usually always like to give my guests the opportunity for us to send a raid. Do you want to send it to anyone specific?
Ooh. Who is live right now? Ooh.
And now, while she does that, and while we're waiting, chatters, you can still actually be able to ask any question you want, or if you guys want to do any more spins, you guys can still do some spins. I'm a re-yapper. I react to the yapping with spiteful over the yap. You know what? That is like the probably definition of you, Psycho. You are a re-yapper that responds to other yappers spitefully.
There we go. I sent the in DMs.
Perfect. Thank you so much. While I get that set up right now, Psycho would like to ask you a spin. So get another spin for Psycho, and this time only you have to answer it. Yes, I saw what you did before. Fall for it again. Okay, last controversial take. No controversial. Taco a sandwich?
Yes.
Oh.
But I also hate tacos, and I like regular sandwiches.
Oh.
I will only have a taco if it's a hard shell taco, and even then, it's on thin ice.
Okay. So a sandwich is a taco.
A taco is a sandwich. Yes.
It's all chaotic, aren't you?
I'd like to think that I'm somewhat controlled in my chaos.
Somewhat. Awesome. Oh, they're playing League of Legends. Ooh, I like his hat. His hat's really cool.
That's my boy Rias.
Yes, I love it. We're gonna be rating the lovely Rias. I love his hat. I love his design.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's great. He's a sweetie pie. I like to torture him.
Well, we'll be definitely sending the yappers over to torture him. So hope you guys help him out a little bit because he's gonna be streaming some League of Legends, and his team that he's going up against looks a little yabai. Looks a little yabai. So we'll have to get to him. Little yabai. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for joining in. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all social medias under Core of Midas. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, even though I don't really use TikTok, Instagram, even though I don't really use Instagram, Twitter, I use a lot of Twitter, usually YouTube.
I love it. We gotta go check her out. We gotta go give her still all the amazing support. She definitely deserves it. And if you guys would like to check out a new VTuber each and every week, I do a VTuber interview every single weekend, sometimes on Wednesdays. So if you guys want to meet someone new, check them out. You can also give me a follow too. But until then, thank you guys so much for joining in. You guys all freaking amazing. I always appreciate you guys. I love meeting your community, love meeting new people, and I hope that I see you guys again very soon. See you on the flip side. Psycho. It was great to meet you as well as everyone else in chat. Thank you so much. Don't leave Discord yet, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. And now she's going to end it off with her passionate desire in her pink form. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.